coming from my own computer or from SharePoint or from OneDrive, then this is the option that I can use. I have two options, which are files on my computer or files coming from other sources like websites, like Power Apps, or maybe SharePoints. As you can see here, we have different resources. So as I can see, we have different resources. I would select the one that I want from files. I will go with Excel and I will press on connect. It will show me the different sources. I will start with this one. This file is on my computer, as I told you. Then this is the first step, is connecting to my resources. What is the second step I need to use? I would go with see the files that I have within this Excel file. I have different tables. I have different worksheets. I will go with this one, which is the data. So the first thing was connecting to Excel, then selecting the table that I want, and now I would need to do what is to transform the information in a way that would be easier for me to create the dashboards that I want. So I will select first the table that I want or the sheet that I want, and then we'll go with transform data. Now, before I go to creating the dashboard, I would need to do some transformations, some data cleaning, maybe some calculations before I go to the dashboard that I want to create. Here, as you can see, this is a report about the sales of the soda or Coca-Cola in different regions and different dates related to states or regions. As you can see, we have the region and we have the states that are on the northeast or the west, whatever. And this is the name of the product, which is Coca-Cola, Diet Coca-Cola. I have a different fields report. So you can imagine this for your own business. It can be something else. Maybe it is for students, for your own company, like sales, whatever. So this is a demonstration about that. What I want to do here is to add a calculation which will help me in my report. So I would need to add something like, let's say, the total of sales of these two records, which is the price per unit and the units sold. How can I do that? It's simply by calculating, multiplying this one by this one, and I get the field that I want. What I would need to do is to add a column, and I would use a custom column. Simply, as you can see, here is the interface. It shows the columns that I have here, and here I can write the function or the Power Query that I want. If I don't have an idea about that, and it's so simple to learn, all I need to do is press on Learn about Power Query formulas, and it will take me to an explanation for the formulas that I can write and how to use them and how to do that step by step. What I need here is a very simple formula, which is calculating the total sales or the revenue. How I can do that is by adding, double-clicking the price per unit multiplied, and the asterisk is the multiplication sign, by the units sold. And I would press on OK. Here I have the result of the sales. I can rename the field by double-clicking here. As you can see here, all I did is what? Double-click, and I would press on type on revenue. This is the name. It is changed. As you can see here, this is the options I can see. Here I can press on this drop down arrow, I can change the fields that I want or do anything I want. And here, by pressing on the on the left, I can change the format of the column, which means I can change it from a decimal to a fixed to a whole number. I would choose a whole number. This is the first thing I did, is to change the data type of this column. Another thing I would want to do is to go and work with the date. Instead of showing the date as like this, I would go and press on date and select the month and the name of the month. Then I have here at the end, I have the names of the month that I can be using in order to visualize the sales. Another thing I would do here is to sort these fields in a way they show in a ascending or descending order as I want. As you can see here, I can select ascending or descending. So this will reflect into my dashboard that I'm going to create. So I'm doing this here in order to make my dashboard easier in working with, while I prefer doing everything I want here before I go to the dashboard and show it as a final result. I do the data transformation I want. As you can see, I will remind you here, this one records the steps that I have done. Maybe there is a step that I don't want, so I can just delete it and it will do like an undo for the things that I have done. So these are the steps that we started with: navigation, promoted headers, changed the type, added a custom field, which was the revenue. Then we have changed the type, then we inserted the month name, and then we sorted the rows. All these are the steps that we have done. So is everything till now clear? Do you have any questions before I move to another thing?
All good.
All good. So as you can see here, from the fields that we have the vision and the Azure Machine Learning, which are parts of the artificial intelligence or the generative AI. These things are to be used in the advanced reportings or things that I might need to use the AI within the Power BI, which is very interesting, and we maybe explain this later. So I'm done here. The next step, can you help me with that? What should I do now? After I have transformed the data, I would need to go to the next step. Do you remember what was the next step I should do? Okay, let me do it. I would go to home and then I will press on close and apply to move to the next step. Okay, it's now loading the data, preparing the environment where I can start creating my visual dashboards. To the left here, I can see the report view, which is I am currently on. I can see the data view, which takes me back to the data, so I can make some changes. If you press on any of these, you can see that this is a dynamic tool set, can be changed up to the type of the data that I have. As you can see, when I press on the fields, I can see that these are changing dynamically. As you can see, between here and between, let's say this one, we can have these are changing. And here is the place where if I have more than one table, I can create relations between them so that whenever I have any related fields, I can create my reports based on these related fields, so they change dynamically. They can be linked in a way that the effect of the change can be applied on different tables or the source of these fields coming from different tables to show on my visual dashboard. I would get back to my visual dashboard. The first thing I would need to do is to create a title for this dashboard. So I would go to insert. I can insert different things. One of them is shapes. I would go with rectangle. As you can see, I have chosen this type as a title for my dashboard. I will just make it wider and smaller here. And I need to see the properties of this shape. As you can see, these are the shape properties, and here are the general properties. I would enable the title. What do I mean by that? When I enable the title, so I can type a title for this dashboard. Okay, I would add the text here. I would say sales, I would call it anything, dashboard. Is it typing? Okay. I would give it black color. Why isn't it showing? Should show here.
Maybe we need to go to the shape.
I am on the shape.
I am on the shape.
No, yeah, here.
Rectangle, style. No, it is here. I'm sure of that.
Yeah, there is. There is the color.
Maybe we need
Style. Go to style. Yeah.
change
Okay.
Color.
Here. Okay. That's it. Then it is sales dashboard. Okay. So you can see it here. You can work with the size. And these are things related to shaping. I would not take a lot of time here, but as you can see, you can enable the borders. You can make them thicker or whatever you want. So this is for the sales dashboard. As you can see here, there's also one thing I can reset everything back if I don't want, or I changed my mind with one thing. These are the padding. I can work with the padding as you want, as you can see. From the left, from the top, whatever I want. Here's the alignment. I will just, this is enough for me for now. So this is the title I have created for the dashboard. So here are the data that are included. As you can see, we have different things we can show on my dashboard. But first I need to select the proper or the visual that I want. I have one sample or one example I like to use, which is the card. I will just, resize it, this card. I will resize this card, put it here. Then I will select the data that I want to show on this dashboard item. I will select let's say, the revenue. As you can see here, I have the revenue, the sum of the revenue, which is shown here. I can also change the visuals of this card. The call out value is the value which is the 8 million. I can change the color. Okay, I would need, if I like to change the, as you can see, I can change how it shows in thousands and millions and billions and trillions, whatever. I would keep it on millions. Then I will go to category label. I can also change the color of this label. As you can see here, I changed this one. Now I would like to create a duplicate for this one. I will press on Control C, then Control V and Control V. I would take it here. Then I have another one that is here. Okay, here I would change this one. I'll press here. I would, it is not the sum of the revenue. Let's say, select the state of this unit sold, let's say, and the last one, I would change it to state. Okay, as you can see here, I have selected these 3 cards. I can customize any of these cards by pressing here. This is the sum of revenue. I would change it to revenue. Okay. Here I would select, double click here, and I can change the sum of units sold. Okay. If I press here and press, I can see I can change from sum to average to minimum to maximum, whatever I want. As you can see, this is the average, this is the minimum or the maximum. I would go with the sum. Okay, and here is the last one. I am good with that. And let's say I want to change it from, I'm just giving examples for you just to know if I want to change it. I press here and select the one that I want. This is the month name. I'm sorry, it's in Arabic. I don't know why. I will change it for you and get back to this state. Okay. So I'm sorry. Till now, I have seen what is called the data card. As you can see, I have created the first card, then I copied it, Control C, Control V, and created 2 other data cards. I customized the look by going to formatting the visual. I have the call out value, which is the number or the value that is here on this card, here on this card, and here on this card. I can control everything related to it. I can change the format. I can change the color. I can display. I can change the display units. Here, as you can see, I also can do that with this. And in the Alabama, I have other things that I can choose or select. I can do whatever I want. So this is for the data card that I have created. I can also create what is called the stack or the bar charts. I have different types of bar charts or apple or pie charts, whatever I want of this. Let me select the stacked one. Sorry. I press on an area that is empty. Then I will add the stacked chart. Here I would select the fields that I want, the month, or the sales, units sold, okay, and would select the month name. As you can see here, let me just make it bigger for you. As you can see here, I have this chart now that shows the sales by month. As you like, you can work also on the visuals of these titles or properties or effects. I can add anything that you want for that. If you need to change the header icons, if you need to change all the text or alternative text, as you can see, this is the visual. I can add a zoom slider. I don't know if it is efficient on this type of charts or not, but I prefer to use this zoom slider when I use the maps. I will show you that on the next step. So if I need to change the type of this or the view of this chart, I can change as I see that I need to fit to my organization or the way I like to present my information. So I can change between these as I want, and I can also go to the map, which will show me these as on a map. As you can see here, I might need to, if I need to show the labels, I can show that. If I need to change the look of the map, this is the road which I prefer to use and would go with. If I have anything that I need to add, let me show you all the details. This is the title, some of the units. This is the one shown here. I can just remove these two words. Okay, I can change the size of this header. Okay, what else should I show you? Okay, on the visual, I would show, sorry, here, the map settings, the style, the controls, auto zoom on or off. I can display zoom buttons here. As you can see here, I have the zoom buttons here. I can just, as you can see, and what else should I add for you? The legend is on. So I guess this is good for now. So month names and the unit sold. We should add the states. If we want, we can add the revenue. Okay. So the unit sold, the revenue, it should now be good for you. So this is something I can also resize. If I need to add any other fields, I can press here on the zoom. I can move it like this or like in any way, and would select the date or the month. And this is for the maps thing. One thing I also like to show to you, which is the slicer. I don't know if I ever explained about the slicer. Sorry. I would press also on an empty place and would add a slicer. Okay. Customize this slicer by, let's say, by state. Okay. I can change this, I will put this slicer here. And let me show you one thing, how to show as a table, or I can sort ascending or descending. Okay, I can show it as a table, but it will be taking a lot of space. I have one thing I want to show you. In the slicer setting, I would press on the tile, so I can see these here. Okay, as you can see, whenever I choose a state, will be changing dynamically on each of these visual, or affecting all the visuals that I have on my report. Okay, so tell me until now, is everything clear?
Sorry, Mr. Khalid, could you repeat the slicer again, please?
Okay, I will just remove everything from here. So regarding the cards, go ahead.
Yeah, just take us through slicer again and how
Yeah,
they connected. Yes.
no problem. The slicer is like a dynamic filter. What I've created was, let's say I would go back with the stack. I would select the units sold per month. Okay. So I will enlarge this one, and units sold and sum of the month, or let's say the average. And I'm selecting the state, let's say, or the month name. Okay, as you can see here, I have selected a complex one, or a more three categories or three criteria. It would be the sales of each state with the sum of the units in each of the months. Okay, I would select this or this or stack, whatever I want. Okay, this is showing me this stack bar. I will add the state to make it more efficient. So I would need to filter this information visually. So I would select what is called the slicer. The slicer is a visualizing method that I do like a lot. So I would press on the empty space first, in any empty space, and would go with the slicer. This is the slicer. So I would need to select what I need or to add on the slicer. I need it to be by region, or by revenue, or by state. This is, I guess, or let's say by, if we have the beverage brand, let's say by beverage brand. Okay, I can now select the slicer. I would put it here again. And as I told you, I can go with the visualization. This is the slicer settings. I would press on tile, and I have it now like this. Let me just minimize it. As you can see, it is customizing itself. Okay, this is the slicer that I want. I can customize it. Also, oops. As you can see here, I want just to make it wider. That's it. Okay. As you can see here, I have the slicer based on or built on. Let's go to the slicer again. This is the slicer. This is built on the beverage brand. I can change it to any other thing that I need to be the effective or the revenue. Let's say I want it to be the revenue. Okay, this is the revenue, or I want it by state. Okay, and or by brand name, I would select by brand name. So here, when I press on Coca-Cola, let's say, I can see that the revenue of the Coca-Cola, how is it being shown on different months. Let me catch it from here. As you can see, it's by month, the sales of Coca-Cola in Alabama. I can also create or change this one. Maybe I don't want it in Alabama, but let's say I can change this one also into slicer. So as you can see now, I have two slices in Arizona. Okay, I can change. There are some. Here I have two different criteria for this one. I will control Z this one and make it back as it was a data card. And I can also create here a slicer. How does it affect here? How does it show here? So as you can see, the slicer here, when I need to show the sales between two numbers, okay, it would change. And as you can see here, how dynamic my report or my dashboard is. Okay. Let me return everything to the way it was. So I would take this back into a card, and this one, I would select everything that was before, and this is to refresh your memory how we did all these things. Okay. So again, here I am with this dashboard, different types of visuals. Let's add again the map. If I want to change this one, view, as you can see here, the way I want it to be customized, it is up to me. I can change the month name or change, put it as an average. I can customize my axis, all the things that I want. So now I will again add a map. I press here. Before I add the map, is the slicer clear for you?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have any questions?
No, all good.
Okay. So now I will again add the map. Okay, I would take it here. Any visual I want, let me add a pie here, and let me add, what else should I add? We have the basic shapes that I want. Why are these not showing anything? Can you tell me? Why are
Because you have not selected any data for them.
Okay.
Okay.
Help me to
Help
select
me
the
to
data
select
here,
the
please.
data here, please.
Okay, maybe for pie chart we can select month, name, and revenue.
Month name
Month name
and
Revenue.
and
revenue.
revenue.
Yeah.
This is excellent.
This is
Okay.
excellent. Okay.
So
So
another
another
one, can you help
one,
me
can
with
you
that
help me
also?
with that also?
For map, I am a little bit confused how it will be used with this data. By
It
region
would
and
be
revenue.
the state,
The state,
let's say,
let's say,
or
And
the
units
for
region,
the region
and
and
units sold.
units sold.
units sold.
That's it.
That's
Exactly.
exactly.
So since
So
this is
since
also
this is
a
also
map,
a
I will
map,
select
I
the
would
same
select the
one
same
with units sold. Okay, I will remove this one. I will remove this one also since it is understood. I will remove this one and let's play around with this. As you can see here is the size of the circle that reflects the sales that I want. As you can see, if I need to customize this map, I can change it. I can go to the visuals and I can see the map settings again. I can change the view of the map from this into this. It shows different shapes. I can use the zoom buttons again. I enable the zoom buttons. They will show here. And I would go with the bubbles if I need to change the bubble size. Let me make it 10. Okay. Here you can see this, and I would go with this, the color. Let me choose maybe another. As you can see here, it's not so beautiful, this color. I would select a color. Let me, if I need to see more colors, I can go here and we'll go with this one. Okay, I will go with the yellow. No, just keep the basic color, which was this one. This is related to the bubbles and the category labels. Let's see if I enable them. It will show me the labels of each of the states. If I will enlarge that, it would be much clearer, but I can, instead of labels, I can go with, if I need to add, I will ask you a question. I need to add a slicer in order to show me the sales by state. Can you help me to do that, please?
We'll have to go with the slicer.
Yeah, go to the slicer.
Okay,
Okay, proceed.
Now we will select state. And you can adjust the icon, yeah, the shape.
Okay, how can I change the view here? I would go to this one. The format of the slicer. And would go with the style. I can use the drop down. Or I can use style. Or I can use the vertical list. So what do you prefer?
Drop down.
It's your choice.
So we have to drop down.
So now I can take this one. I can just let me try do something with the background. I will remove the background. Okay. So it would be on the properties. Channel. I'm just working with colors and playing around with these. Just make it. Okay. Now I can drop down with Arkansas. As you can see here, this is my visual report based on one of these. If I want to remove the slicer, I will clear the selection, so it will show me again everything that was displayed before. Okay? So, do you have any questions?
No.
That's great. Now, I am satisfied with my visual. I can, again, as I have seen before, I can go again with the visual. I will see the effects, the background. I will remove the background. Okay. If I have anything to do with the borders, I can make them wider. So now this is my reports, or this is my information that I want to show to my colleagues or to persons who are visiting my website, or to the managers or to the salespersons. What is the next step if I want to make this report viewable?
Publish.
Excellent. So I would go with publish. Do you want to save? I will press on the save. I will call this report sales report. And what should I do next? Let's see. Where do I want to publish this one? To what is this connected?
Maybe the Google Drive. We
The
can save it on our Google Drive
No, on our OneDrive.
If,
or OneDrive.
no, Google Drive is not the best choice.
On OneDrive.
OneDrive.
No.
No.
I want something dynamic.
Directly on the website. You think.
I can publish it directly on the website. I can publish it on any Power BI applications that I have. And then I can control who can see it. Now I have my workspace. Where does this come from? Do you remember?
The Power BI tool.
It is connected to my environment that I have this Power BI coming from. So I should have an Office 365 that gives me the ability, or gives me the space that I can publish my Power BI reports I'm creating. So it is here, if you can see, let me cancel this one. I will show you here. This is the place where I am connected. So the Power BI reports I create will go directly to the environment, or to the SharePoint place, or to the place that I have within my environment. So I will open, let me show you. Let's open this one. I will bring it here. I would go to, let's say, Office 365. or to SharePoint that I have. This is, as you can see, the same as you can see, CTS, and this is the account that I have, which is CTS. Then I can publish my report to my workspace that is on my environment, or I will show you another option. Let me go first to this SharePoint. As I started typing SharePoint, as you can see, this is the place that I have, and I have a SharePoint that is called my workspace. If I want to publish it to the company's workspace, I should be allowed, or I can have the permission to do that. Another way is to add it, let's say, to PowerPoint, Power Apps. As you can see here, I have the Power Apps. I can publish my report that I have created to any of the Power Apps that I have, maybe to an application, maybe to Power Pages, maybe to Figma, or to any other component of the Power Apps environment. But in order to do that, I should be connected with Power Apps, with Power BI to my environment. I'm here, I am connected. If you remember, we did that on the first day. We had to log on with credentials that allows me to join my environment. Then I will have the ability to publish to the workspaces that I have. On other environments, maybe I am working as a freelancer. This applies to me, and I have another account. I can switch to my other account and see the destinations that I am allowed to publish to. So I will select my workspace in order to do that. Is that clear for you? Did you understand what I have explained?
Yeah.
Okay. So I can select my workspace. So it is now publishing this sales report to Power BI, so it can be available on my workspace. Okay. As you can see, you can create a portrait view of reports, tailored mobile phones on View tab, and select the mobile layout. In order to skip the effort for you, so you do not design two different reports, it can help you from the start to create a layout that is suitable for mobiles. So it can give you this studio to work in a easy and viewable environment or view, and it will automatically transform or make this reports or these reports you have created suitable to be viewed on tablets or mobile layouts. So this is a hint. So got it. Now it says that is this visual report that I have created is now available on my workspace. Let me see about that and see where I can see my reports. Let me see if I have this added to my environment. And let's say I need to not to screw with anything. Let me see an application that I can work with without destroying anything. Leave. Okay. I'm just showing that to you. Let me see my applications. And I would go with this one. So the next step is to view my share my, after I have shared this reports with other colleagues, I can now apply it or make it visible for employees within my environment by adding it to a, let's say, an application that I have, or maybe to a web page that I have. And this can be done through the applications or the options that are in Power BI. I can just insert this Power BI tool through adding it here to my applications, or through going to, let's say, I have the other applications that I can use in PowerPoint and Forms, or in any other applications that I want. This we are going to do on the next steps, on the next lessons. But in general, today's lesson was about the visualization tools. How do we create them? How do we customize them? And I guess I hope I was clear about what I explained. So let me know, was it clear for you? How do you evaluate today's session, please?
Yes, thank you very much, Mr. Khalid.
You're welcome.
Today again, it was as informative as the other ones. Now we
Okay,
just wanted to check, moving forward,
yes.
what can we expect in the next few sessions? Is
We will
this
go
enough for us to start
with the
with our
advanced
data?
levels, which means that connecting different tables or multiple tables and working with DAX. We have to do some advanced calculations in order to have more complex reports based on different tables and with different calculations. We have a lot to explain. Just give me 1 second. We have to work with how do we publish these reports, how do we share them, and how to collaborate, how to give permissions. We have the modeling techniques, we have the different DAX functions, we have what's called time intelligence, and we also have AI reports, which are features that we can use artificial intelligence in order to create like questions. Here, as you can see in the reports that we created, we can have the artificial intelligence to analyze the reports by asking questions like, or answering questions, why are the sales maybe in Alabama are less than sales in California, for example. So we can add the artificial intelligence or the analysis tools in order to help us analyze the information and give us answers. I just want to tell you something about the artificial intelligence and the Copilot that is being implemented in all Microsoft products. We can also have it integrated for us in our reports, in our Excel, in our Word, and it will help us a lot to generate more effective and smart visual reports or even written reports. So you will be expecting to working with multiple sources, with multiple related databases or tables, then working with DAX, which are the advanced functions that you can use. And then we're going to work also with each and everything we have spoken about, but in more professional way, so we can have the advanced publishing, like who can see this and who can advanced, who can collaborate within publishing. As I told you, also we can expect about the artificial intelligence features that we can use within our Power BI.
Right. Thank you, Mr. Khalid.
You are most
You are
welcome.
most welcome.
So before we say goodbye for today, do you have any questions?
No, no, we're good.
No, we're good.
Okay, when do we have another session? Did we agree on that?
I'll have to check with Ammar and Rania, and you'll have to tell us if this time suits you as well, so we can just, decide on the following days.
Okay, Ammar will decide about the times. He has all a schedule and can answer all the questions.
Great, great. Thank you very
Okay.
much. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.